Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. I'd love to talk to you today about how to not be controlled by your emotions, especially as an empath and a sensitive being. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of background first on my personal journey. And I'll just tell you, nowadays, I'm able to flow with my emotions. They come in, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's happiness, sometimes it's frustration, sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's anything in between. There are so many emotions that we as human beings are designed to experience. And in this world we live in, all the emotions that are deemed somewhat negative, the less happy, everything's great, leave it to Beaver kind of energy, anything that is not of that, but even too much joy. We also have a problem with too much joy. But these emotions, when we experience anger or frustration or sadness, most of the messages that we're receiving in the world say, tuck that away, put that somewhere else, not acceptable. And so, certainly, those were the messages I received as a child. And not because someone was trying to be mean or malicious, but because the caregivers, my parents, my grandparents, whoever, babysitters, whoever it was at the time, didn't have the resources to connect in with their own emotions, to allow those to come up and out. So anytime I came as a little being with big emotions, they scared my caregivers and they wanted those tucked away. So those were the messages I learned, just as most of us have. And those were the messages I passed on to my daughter as well. And it's only been in the past 5 or so years where I've really begun to hold space. Well, probably 7 years. I've been in business for 7 years. So, where I've really begun to hold space for all the emotions and where I've really allowed my own emotions the space they need so that I'm not asking my body to hold those things. And that is what happens with our unexpressed emotions. They get pushed down into our body and then they come out as disease or other issues. So let's talk about being controlled by our emotions, right? What does that even mean? Being controlled by our emotions. This means we are ranting and raving and on this roller coaster where we feel out of control, where we feel out of control on a regular basis, where our responses are not responses, but instead reactions. I'm being triggered. This is, and of course, none of us are having that thought process. Somebody says something or does something, and we're just all of a sudden up over the top. It's like a pop bottle ready to explode, right? We've been shook, shaken out in the world, and then whoosh, there it comes, all of it. And then afterwards, if we're aware enough, then we have a shame spiral where we feel guilty or bad for having this response. And we want to take it back, but being vulnerable, allowing ourselves to connect in and really feel what was underneath that experience. Most of us don't have that skill set. Most of us are so afraid of what's in there that we don't often look. And that's part of why working with someone who has a really good grasp of the emotions and understanding what the threads are in a trauma safe way can be so powerful, because healing always happens in reflection. And only when we have this opportunity to really share and reflect, that's when the light bulbs start to go off and we begin to know ourselves deeper. And when you know yourself deeply, you can appreciate the different emotions, the different experiences, the different aspects of yourself, and come at them with a more curious lens rather than through I should, which is often or always shaming. So, this is what I wanted to share with you today. Just a little bit about being controlled by our emotions, what that means, and how we can create a little bit more space around that. So, now we're going to move into a little tap along just to give yourself, this is just going to be a little taste. And if you've never tapped, so this is emotional freedom technique. This is the primary modality that I use in my business. Emotional freedom technique, plus, of course, my intuitive knowledge and the ability that I have to feel into your nervous system and pull out the threads of what's underneath. Because very often this is subconscious information that we can't get to just by cognizing. All right, so we're going to begin, and this is going to be a column response. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to pause, and you're going to repeat after me. All right, we're going to start tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though there is a part of me that wants to control my emotions, right here, right now, I'm safe. Just noticing how that feels in your body. Even though there's a part of me that wants to control all my emotions, I'm open to looking at this today. Even though there is a part of me that wants to control my emotions, right here, right now, I'm safe. So keeping your eyes open and just noticing what's come up. We're going to move to in between the eyebrows, controlling my emotions, outside of the eyes. I don't like it when they control me. Underneath the eyes. I don't like that my emotions run the show. Underneath the nose. I'm uncomfortable with all my emotions. A part of me wishes that I didn't have emotions. to the chest. I wonder what that would be like. Not allowing my emotions to control me. So pausing there, shaking that off, and just taking a moment to notice how this feels. Maybe you had some imagery come up. Maybe you had some thoughts, some cognition, maybe some memories, maybe some words you heard at the end of my sentences. Whatever came through for you, that's important information for you. And if nothing came through, that's okay as well. Just taking this opportunity, we're just starting this journey. All right, we're going to do one more round here. Coming back in between the eyes, all these emotions, all these emotions I experience. I wish I didn't. I wonder, I wonder what it would be like if I felt comfortable with my emotions. I wonder how that would shift my energy. I wonder if that's even possible. Shaking that off, and again, checking in, noticing how you feel. All right, so that's everything for today. I'm Anita Kaiser from Anita Kaiser Wellness. I work with empaths, sensitives, and starseeds, helping them find more joy and authenticity in their lives so that they can live in the way that they were truly meant to live. I look forward to hearing how this lands for you, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Have a beautiful day. Much love.